Atlas, a company that has made many popular games. There's my all-time favorite game series, Persona. There's also Catherine, Metaphor ReFantazio, Shin Megami Tensei, and so many more. Now, one of the many game series that Atlas has done that I've always heard about but never looked into was Trauma Center, a series of games where you play as a doctor and operate on patients to save their lives. And that's all I thought those games were. That is until recently, when I learned that these are not just your typical medical games. In one of the games, you're defusing a bomb, in another, you're getting kidnapped. The plots of these games are way crazier than I ever thought they'd be. I was expecting operations with a bit of normal medical drama in between, not having to escape from a cell that's slowly being filled with water. Trauma Center, I apologize. I did not know. I was not aware of your insane plot points that I just know I would love, but I'm here now. So I decided to jump straight into Trauma Center New Blood, since you don't need knowledge of prior games to play it, and oh my gosh, this game was a ride. We've got explosions, kidnapping, new diseases, supernatural abilities, war, and medical game shows. This game was all over the place, and I loved every second of it, and now I have to tell you all about it. But first, the disclaimer. Please do not take this video as a serious review. In these videos, I focus more on the story rather than the gameplay, as that is what is most interesting to me. So if you're looking for someone to go really in depth on gameplay and things like that, this is not the video for you. Also, please do not take this video as me hating on this game. I genuinely enjoy all the games I talk about, even if I'm poking fun at them. We're just here to have some fun. Okay, disclaimer over, but one more thing before we start. Be sure to stay to the end of the video because we're doing a special video game shout-out highlight for a game called Arcadia Fallen 2. But more on that later. For right now, let's go save some lives.
Montgomery Memorial Hospital watches over the town like an old man. And in this remote hospital toil two doctors who are about to be swallowed by the jaws of fate.
And you know who else is about to be swallowed by some jaws? The first patient of this game.
The patient's a 40-year-old male. He has a gash on his chest and he's losing blood fast.
How was he injured?
He ignored the tour guide's warning and picked a fight with a grizzly.
He picked a fight with a grizzly bear? Why? First patient of the game, and it's already crazy. So then we meet our two main characters, Dr. Marcus Vaughn and Dr. Valerie Blaylock.
Doctor, the patient's vitals are dropping.
All right, let's get down to business. I have dinner reservations.
I really hope that the patient is already knocked out and didn't hear you say that, Troy Baker. I mean, Marcus. So Marcus and Valerie are both the main characters of the game. You can play as either one of them in each operation, but I don't see what the point is because it changes nothing. They both talk through the procedures no matter who you pick. After the surgery, we learn a bit more about them. It seems that they both used to work at Concordia Hospital in LA, but for some unknown reason, Marcus ran off to work in Alaska. And Valerie followed him because Marcus has the ability to use the healing touch, and Valerie wants to learn how to do it herself. The healing touch is this special supernatural ability that only some doctors can use. It slows down time and boosts a patient's vitals. In the game, you activate it by drawing a star on the screen. I don't know if that's how it works in the world of Trauma Center though. Like mid-operation, are they just like... One day, Valerie eavesdrops on Marcus practicing the healing touch.
Imagine a star and follow the shape.
And then she's able to do it herself.
Spirit of life, guide my hands.
It seems like it's easier to learn this ability than they originally made it sound. So one night, everyone has gone home and only Marcus and Valerie are at the hospital. They're about to go home for the day when they get a sudden call.
A man was accidentally shot in the chest with a rifle. He's bleeding profusely. I estimate that he's already lost about 500 milliliters. His CS is 233.
I'm so glad you're still open. Here's the patient.
We're ready for him.
I've managed to temporarily stop the bleeding, but his vitals have dropped significantly.
So this is Elena, and she just so happens to be a nurse, which is perfect because that means she can help Marcus and Valerie with the operation since all the other staff is out. After the operation, she explains that she's a nurse from Concordia in LA, where they used to work. Marcus assumes that Professor Wilkins, who runs the Concordia hospital, sent Elena to try to get Marcus to come back, but she's like, oh, no, I just want you to operate on me. So apparently 7 years ago, Marcus implanted a pump in her pancreas, and now it's failing. She wants him to implant a new one. So they operate on Elena, and then she tells Marcus that another reason she came to Alaska is that she wants to work as his assistant. Marcus says no, but then a church falls on a nun. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say. They have to operate on her on site, and Elena assists them. After proving herself in this operation, Marcus decides to let Elena work alongside them after all. Then the director of the hospital falls ill. He decides to just close the hospital, so our main trio is forced to go back to Concordia Hospital in LA. On their first day, they run into a former colleague, Dr. Russo, who's a total jerk.
How was Montgomery Memorial?
Well, it was certainly challenging.
I have to admit, I was quite envious when I heard that you were going. I mean, who wouldn't want a chance to get in touch with nature? I wonder why they asked you to return, seeing as how you've made little progress on your research. This hospital must be busier than I thought. I hope you two live up to your reputations. Well then, if you'll excuse me,
I see he's still as charming as ever.
Professor Wilkins asks to meet with Marcus and Valerie. He says that he's infected with a disease. Valerie asks what the disease is, and he's like, I can't tell you that yet. Now go back to work. Thanks for the pointless meeting, Professor.
Marcus, you went against my orders and ran off to Alaska. But in the end, you were forced to return here. I won't reproach you, as long as you accept your fate.
Is that what you want me to do?
Indeed.
Well, that's ominous. So our main trio gets back to working on patients while they wait for the professor to tell him about this disease. But then Dr. Russo starts taking credit for their operations.
There's no need for tears. Now, let's discuss his future treatment options.
Oh, as long as he's in your hands, Dr. Russo, I know he'll be okay.
Oh, it's you, Vaughn.
Marcus, he's...
It's not worth getting upset over. The patient is all right. That's all that matters.
Dr. Russo, is something wrong?
Oh, no, it's nothing.
Okay, so this guy sucks. Then we meet Irene Quattro. She works for Caduceus, which is this super elite medical organization that researches incurable diseases. She'll be important later, but for right now, just know that she exists. So then Wilkins finally decides to tell our main trio plus Dr. Russo about the disease he's infected with.
It was a pathogen born as a result of gene-related medical research. I isolated it, analyzed it, and became deeply interested in it, despite my initial fears. It was such a unique disease.
Curiosity. Man's greatest weakness.
Dr. Vaughn?
Never mind.
Marcus, you can't just say stuff like that and expect people not to question it.
It's a tragedy for us all, Professor. It breaks my heart to learn of your infection.
Yeah, you sound really sad about it. So the professor calls this new disease Stigma. He wants Marcus and Valerie to operate on him since they have the healing touch. Elena will be there to assist, of course, and Dr. Russo, I don't even know why he's here. He just stands there and watches the whole procedure happen. So they begin the operation, and this disease is actually insane.
It's tearing up his insides. I can't believe this.
It's zooming all over the place. They successfully remove the disease and meet with Wilkins afterwards.
I never imagined such an insidious pathogen could exist. It amazes me each time I watch the recording of the operation.
Recording? Rousseau, I thought I made myself clear. I only gave you permission to read through the existing data.
Yes, that's true, but I thought perhaps...
My orders are absolute. Or are you scheming to steal my research?
Ooh, you're in trouble.
Well, I'm calling it quits for today. Hopefully tomorrow won't be as stressful.
2 seconds later.
Oh no!
Help!
So it turns out that the person on fire is Dr. Rousseau, and the place that's on fire is Wilkins' lab. All of his research has been destroyed, and Wilkins himself has gone missing. Then Irene shows up and says that the government has ordered our main trio to work at Caduceus and study Stigma. So now they'll be moving to Maryland. Oh yeah, Maryland. Irene introduces them to the doctors they'll be working with, Dr. Newman, Dr. Suji, and Dr. Everett.
This is Dr. Everett, our chief surgeon.
He looks like he's in pain. Is something wrong?
I've got cholelithiasis. I don't care who does it. I just need help. I can walk you through the procedure if necessary. I'll even suture myself when it's over.
I know this is sudden, but would you mind?
Not at all.
Dr. Everett has cholelithiasis and has been experiencing pain for 3 years.
Why did you wait 3 years to get treated? You're a doctor, you should know better. Then they're introduced to the head of the research department, Dr. Cromwell, and his assistants, Isabella and Cynthia. And it turns out that Valerie and Cynthia know each other. They're old friends from college.
And Dr. Vaughn, it's a shame that you feel the need to keep secrets from us. But I'm hoping that will change.
What makes you say that?
Well, you're not exactly subtle about it.
Your cutaneous muscles seem a little more tense than normal.
Yeah, that too. So from here on out, they research Stigma and even come across a few patients infected with the different strains of it. There are a few normal patients sprinkled in too, like this dad whose son has appendicitis, but he can't afford to pay for the operation. But there's a rich kid who also has appendicitis at the hospital, and he wants his operation to cost more than the one his friend had, so he can one-up him. Valerie gets him to agree to donate an extra $10,000 to the hospital. It'll pay for the boy's other surgery and make his cost more. Is this legal? It doesn't feel legal. So the rich boy has the more mild case, but they operate on him first for some reason.
This boy is very lucky.
If he'd waited any longer for surgery, he may not have pulled through.
Then what about the boy with the more severe case? Why did we start with the rich kid? Actually, I probably just answered my own question because he's rich. Then Valerie asks Cynthia about her love life.
That reminds me. How are things between you and Ray?
It ended when he went back home.
Believe it or not, that'll be important later. After that, Valerie's ex-boyfriend calls her and tells her that he discovered a new parasite and invites her to come watch him perform an operation to remove it. She invites Marcus and Elena to go with her, but the operation isn't exactly what they were expecting.
That was an interesting operation, wasn't it?
I suppose. It would have been a lot more interesting, though, if the operation hadn't been performed on a dog.
Believe it or not, that'll be important later. So now begins the game show arc. I bet you weren't expecting a game show arc in a medical game. There's this show called Miracle Surgery where this guy, Dr. Bello, will perform operations for free as long as he can do it live on his show. In the recent episode, they were like, hey, Caduceus sucks. So Irene asks our main trio to go on the show to prove otherwise. They and Dr. Bello are going to operate on patients at the same time, and whoever finishes first wins. And if Team Caduceus wins, Miracle Surgery will be canceled. That's kind of a crazy deal. Why would the television network agree to that, especially if it was a popular show? And you know, Caduceus is also crazy for wasting their time with this to begin with.
It's finally begun! The miraculous, life-changing operation is upon us! Will they save the patient? Will they prove their skill and determination?
Will that guy ever shut up?
I gotta be honest, I kind of love Marcus. Team Caduceus completes the operation in record time, but they still lose. It turns out Dr. Bello has the healing touch and just used it repeatedly to finish before them. But then, on the next episode, Dr. Bello has a patient with Stigma. He's trying to use the healing touch, but that's not working. Our main trio rushes to the set to cure the patient themselves. It's a good thing this show is live and not pre-recorded, which makes me wonder how long each of the episodes are, because a lot of major surgeries take hours to do. Anyway, they head to the set and rid the patient of Stigma.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you saw today is a new intractable disease known as Stigma. It's a serious disease that's still a mystery to us. But Caduceus has been researching potential countermeasures. And because of that, we were able to save this patient's life. That's part of our mission at Caduceus. Every doctor is a part of this fight, so please, consult your local physician if you experience any unusual symptoms. And if necessary, feel free to contact us as well. That's all I have to say. We at Caduceus hope to continue serving you. Oh, and by the way, this will be the last episode of Miracle Surgery. Good night.
Okay, Valerie, she kind of made that up. The next day, they get a visit from the president of Humani, a pharmaceutical company that develops products for doctors to use. It turns out that Cynthia and Isabella actually work for Humani and are just sort of contracted out to Caduceus. They also learn that the metal in Humani products is part of what helps Stigma grow and survive, but the president genuinely knows nothing about this. He actually has nothing to do with the spread of Stigma. Anyway, the president is like, you did great on Miracle Surgery. Now come to a hockey game with me. And then one of the players gets injured and they have to operate on him because these doctors cannot have one day of peace. Speaking of these doctors not having one day of peace, the three are going out for dinner one night, but they get kidnapped by creepy guys in masks.
No! Someone help! Please!
Elena!
Didn't I tell you to be quiet?
What did you just do?
These days, anesthesia can be administered via pen injectors. Pretty handy, wouldn't you say?
What do you want from us?
Let's save that for later, shall we? Sweet dreams.
Dr. Vaughn! Marcus!
So this is the Kidman family, and they're part of a terrorist organization called Parnassus that wants to sell and use Stigma as a biological weapon. This is the leader of the Kidman branch of Parnassus, and this guy looks really familiar.
With the skills they've demonstrated, there should be no problem. And the chance of tertiary infection is theoretically zero.
You're the creator of Stigma? Professor Wilkins?
Thank God he noticed. I thought we were gonna do the whole thing where it's very obvious to us as the player who the man behind the mask is, but the characters are clueless. This is why you're my favorite, Marcus. The Kidman family keeps them locked up for days and forces them to operate on patients dying of Stigma to further their research of the disease. During their captivity, Marcus finally opens up about the secret he's been keeping.
Back when I was helping the professor with his research, I made a number of genetically engineered mice for use in experiments. There was something different about one of them. It looked just like the others, but it held a terrible secret inside.
You don't mean?
It happened while I was operating on the subject's kidney. I was excising a tumor. That's when it came into contact with artificial blood and started growing at a frightening pace. That was the birth of Stigma.
Marcus, I can't believe this.
I disposed of the subject and proposed that we put a halt to the research, unleashing a new pathogen into the world in order to study its treatment. I argued that that was the wrong way to perform research, but the professor wouldn't listen. That's why I volunteered to go to Alaska. I should have just quit.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured. You weren't as good at hiding it as you thought you were, Marcus. The leader of the Kidman family asks them to experiment on humans, and they refuse. So he locks them in a cell and starts filling it up with water.
All right, remove their blindfolds. Water torture is our specialty. Let me tell you, it's a sight to see. Watching our adversaries scream as they get swallowed up by the cold, dark water.
Okay, this is getting kind of extreme. They're able to break the lock and escape, and then they're just back to work the next day. You guys really don't want some time off after that? You were just kidnapped and water tortured. They are very dedicated to their jobs. No sooner after they get back from their kidnapping, Caduceus sends them to the country of Karuma. There's war going on there and a stigma outbreak, both caused by the Kidman family / Parnassus. They go there to research the stigma outbreak and teach one of the doctors there how to treat it. They also get a dog.
Come, Pepita.
Don't be afraid. She's a smart dog, she won't bite. In fact, she's very well trained. It's a custom in our country to give such dogs as special gifts.
I love this custom. I get a free dog. I sure hope it doesn't get caught in the gunfire from the war.
Pepita?
No. Well, I guess it's a good thing they went to watch Valerie's ex-boyfriend operate on that dog a while ago. They performed surgery on the dog, saving its life. And honestly, I don't think watching a guy operate on a dog once would be enough for them to know how to do it themselves, but I won't question it as long as the dog gets to live. But you know who doesn't survive the war? The Kidman family. Well, so much for them. But that does not mean the Parnassus organization is gone for good. They still need to figure out who the leader is that's spreading stigma. They head back to Caduceus, and Cynthia has gone missing, which is kind of suspicious, especially considering she works for the company that makes the metal that helps stigma grow. But our main characters do not have time to deal with that right now. The mother of the leader of the Kidman family has offered to tell them the location of the Parnassus base as long as they give her free surgery. I love how surgery is just used as a bargaining chip in this universe. So they go to the base and find Wilkins there, who isn't in the best shape. It's revealed that Parnassus is the one who kidnapped Wilkins. They attached an electronic device to his brain and used it to control him into helping them. This reveal actually surprised me. I for sure thought that Wilkins staged the kidnapping and was just part of Parnassus the whole time. I mean, he wasn't exactly the nicest guy to begin with. They remove the device from his brain, but it reverts his memories back to before he was kidnapped.
Marcus, I've decided to take your advice and stop researching stigma. I had a dream. Actually, it was more like a nightmare. So I'm terminating the project.
Yeah, so it's a little too late for that now. But good on you for realizing your mistakes! The next day, the main trio is pulled into a meeting with the rest of Caduceus. They've discovered who the leader of Parnassus is.
Their leader is a man known as Master Vahushti, who, according to our records, has resided in the United States under the name Ray Kerensky.
Ray? You've got to be kidding!
Yeah, remember Ray? Cynthia's ex that was mentioned once? He is the one behind all of this, and Cynthia appears to be working with him.
The United States will be providing support as well in order to crush Parnassus. We will be supplying both instruments and medicine.
I've already volunteered you two. I hope you have no objections.
You sure do volunteer them for a lot of stuff, Irene. They go to the Parnassus base and find Cynthia, who reveals everything she knows about this Master Vahushti and why she helped him.
He went to Russia and then to the United States in order to become a doctor. He realized his dream and started a medical company. But when he returned to his homeland to offer his assistance, he found only betrayal. What happened? The army tried to assassinate him while he was working at a refugee camp. He had devoted his life to saving the country, and that was how they repaid him. He had always been an advocate of reconciliation, but from then on, his thoughts became more radical. As a member of the chosen people, he's allowed his pride to corrupt him. The forces of destruction are still weak, he said, and he began to yearn for greater power, regardless of whether it was good or evil.
That's how he became involved with arms trade and Stigma.
Yes, He sold his soul to the devil, and he received stigma from Professor Wilkins, with whom he was acquainted. For a time, I believed that I could change him.
Oh no, Cynthia. She's one of those I can fix him girls.
But shortly after I arrived, he put a shackle around my heart.
No, Cynthia! She couldn't fix him and then fell for the evil mastermind.
See the scar on my chest, Val? He implanted a pump unit designed to terminate my life. He has the ability to kill me by remote control whenever he wishes.
Oh, okay. You meant a literal shackle around your heart. Never mind. They operate on Cynthia and remove the pump around her heart, and then they head inside the base to confront Master Vahushti.
Vahushti! Where are you?
Who disturbs the serenity of my laboratory?
Hey, Atlas, I can't help but notice that he looks a lot like one of your other characters. Anyway, Master Vahushti is totally insane.
My power remains undiminished because my body itself is the Ark. I am the vessel that holds the new form of life.
You're infected with stigma?
He's no longer capable of judging right from wrong.
Infected? No. We are in symbiosis. Together with Stigma, I will survive through the end of an age, as did my ancestors.
Elena, get the anesthetic.
Yes, Doctor.
So after this, it just cuts straight to the operation, and I really want to know how they managed to knock this guy out so easily. Was Elena just able to run up on him with the anesthetic? He didn't put up any fight? He just let it happen? So the operation begins, and Vahushti has the craziest strain of stigma ever. That is the most insane virus.
It's getting hard to breathe. I let my anger take control of me. I was weak, and I lost myself. My regret is too much to bear.
I'm sure you saved countless lives over the years. But that doesn't give you the right to take away even a single life.
Dr. Vaughn, Dr. Blaylock, thank you. You saved me. I was able to repent before my death.
And he's dead. Well, I guess the world has been saved. With Vahushti's death and Wilkins' research destroyed, Stigma is eradicated. The main trio heads back to Caduceus and vows to keep saving as many people as they can. And that is Trauma Center New Blood. So this game was way crazier than I thought it would be. I thought I was in for a simple story about some doctors operating on the patients that come to the hospital on a daily basis and the typical medical drama that comes along with it. But instead I got kidnappings, war, medical game shows, supernatural powers, a terrorist organization, and the most insane disease ever. I thought it was crazy when the game opened with a patient who tried to fight a bear, but that was one of the more mild things that happened in this game. And honestly, I loved every second of it. I got so invested in this insane plot. It was so much fun. On top of that, Marcus, Valerie, and Elena felt so real. They were such believable characters, and I loved them. Especially Marcus.
Will that guy ever shut up?
Sure, they do some questionable things, like going back to work right after getting kidnapped, but aside from that, they felt like real people, and I think that's what got me so invested in the story. I cared about them and wanted to see how they'd save the world from stigma. So yes, Trauma Center New Blood is a crazy game, but I am so glad that I experienced it. It honestly makes me want to check out the other games in the series. Speaking of game series, let's take a minute to talk about Arcadia Fallen. I know, flawless segue. Now, this video is not sponsored, but Galdra Studios, the creators of Arcadia Fallen, did reach out to me and provide me with a copy of Arcadia Fallen 2, which totally had me fangirling. I did a Let's Play of the first game on this channel and fell in love with it. I love the story and the characters so much. So I was really excited to play the sequel, so I just wanted to give the game a shout out as a thank you to Galdra Studios for thinking of me. Now, Trauma Center is half visual novel, so if you like visual novels, you'll love Arcadia Fallen 2. It's a visual novel where you create your own character who is a mage at Seven Winds Academy. This is my character. Isn't she cute? Your protagonist and her friends discover a secret at the school which changes everything and sets them off on a crazy adventure. Now, let me tell you, if you loved the first game, you will love this one. And if you've never played the first game, you will still love this one. The story had me captivated. The characters were all so lovable. The art is beautiful. There are 5 romanceable characters. I romanced Kim because apparently I cannot keep myself away from Blonde Arcadia Fallen Boys. I just love them. Anyway, this game was an absolute delight. It was so much fun. I will definitely be replaying it. And romancing Kim again. You can't stop me. If you think that this is a game you would enjoy, I promise, it is. Then please, please, please check it out. Gulder Studios is just so amazing. And I need these games to have more fans, okay? I need more fan content to look at. But yeah, anyway, back to Trauma Center. Have any of you played New Blood or the other games in the series? Let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know if there are other games you'd like me to talk about. I do, in fact, take all of your suggestions into consideration. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to see more content from me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Will that guy ever shut up?